we're testing this out. Our campaign. You know, it's been a long time since I've been on the campaign trip. Campaigning again. Now, campaigning is interesting. How you go about doing it. Some people like to do it in person. Some people do it virtually. Some people really stress talking, phone calls, literature. There's all types of methods and modalities to campaign. At the end of the day, a campaign is about painting yourself in a positive light. Oftentimes, we don't do this. We tear down the other person who we're campaigning against. Maybe people think of you positively, but you definitely try to, in most cases, paint a negative opinion of your opponent. I think that's necessary. You need to have clear contrast. But you also want to see why people should vote for you. Have at least a 15-second. Here's why I'm going to be good for you. It can be quick, real quick. You know, Texas, a conservative state. Everybody says Texas like it's a bad thing. There are good people in Texas. Lots of good people. So we shouldn't just say Texas. I know it's scary what's happening down there. See, you have to distinguish between the upper government, the governor, the attorney general, the lieutenant governor. That's strictly conservative. It's strictly authoritarian. But in your local communities, that can be liberal. That can be progressive. And there's a lot of communities that are trending more progressive. To the point where they're saying Texas. Listen to what I'm saying. I never thought I'd hear this in my life. These are people who really look at the numbers and crunch shit. Going back decades. They're saying Texas is going to turn blue by maybe 2028. Potentially 2024. If you know who decides to run again. He didn't do so hot in Texas in 2016 and definitely not in 2020. And you really think, about that. That's Texas. It'd be like saying that he could win California. It's just unheard of. So there is something happening in Texas. They say everything is bigger in Texas. And boy, is that true. Texas, you listen to me. You have a big, huge runoff election on May 24th. This month. very soon. This contest is about something new versus something that we've had that's old. It's about a new way of doing things versus the same old way of doing things. And you look outside, the same old got us in this situation. So the same old is not going to fix this situation. Because look at how long it's had to be a part of the situation, to be a part of the system. You got to take that into account. Jessica's opponent, Henry Courtier, has been a congressman since 2004. That's 18 years. Okay, to put this in perspective, Jessica Cisneros was 10 years old when Henry Courtier became her congressman. 10 years old. She's now 28 years old. And she's challenging him. Now she's lived in the community. She knows the community. She knows that she hasn't received the services and benefits that she, as an American citizen, is entitled to. She knows that that community at large has not received the benefits that they are entitled to. And that's why she's challenging Henry Courtier. And that's why, if I lived in TX-28, man, my ass would be out there every day, making calls, banging on doors, saying you gotta vote for Jessica. All you young people in San Antonio, I don't care if you're conservative or not, you listen to me. While Jessica might be progressive, she's gonna make national headlines. Meaning anyone that lives down there, you're going to be in the news for having a stellar congresswoman. She's fresh. She has a new way of looking at things. And if you're young down there, regardless of your gender or political ideology, you want youth. She's a millennial. She knows you better than Henry Courtier. You're going to get the same thing. Young people, you got to listen to me. You got to take charge now. You see what's going on. You see how it's completely falling apart. They're going to keep saying they know what they're doing. But if you have eyes to see, ears to hear, and a mouth to speak, you know that that's not true at this point. She's one of you, is what I'm saying. So put aside some of your differences. Learn how to do this. I'm telling you, this is a good skill to have. Put aside some of your differences and say, as a generation, as millennials, as Gen Z, that you want fresh leadership. I would say this more of conservatives if they didn't have so many white supremacists in their youth camp. People like Madison Cawthorn. I wouldn't vote for him. I'm just saying, if I were a young person, I wouldn't vote for him. Even though he's young. Look at the immaturity there. So also don't just be, well, this person is young, so I'm going to support them. Don't just be that way. Look and see if they have the maturity, acumen to be congressman. And Jessica most certainly does. She was a civil rights attorney and an immigrants' rights attorney. She's worked with people in the community to try to get them what they're owed. This is very important. She's done the work. She's qualified. And she's one of you. So you ought to, on just that alone, reward her with that congressional seat. I'm telling you, it's going to be a boon for you. You listen, I know. Henry Courtier wins. You're going to go, blah. I know. And then, women, you listen to me. You vote for Jessica. You say, wait a minute. I'm not just voting for a woman because she's a woman. Well, can you explain to me what's going on there? Because somebody must be voting for people just because they're males. The district was created in 1993. And the district has never been represented by a Latina. The district is heavily Hispanic. But there's never been a Latina woman elected in that district since 1993. So somebody down there is voting, because I'm sure there's some highly qualified Latina women. You're telling me in Laredo, in San Antonio, in Rio Grande, that there's no Latina women that are qualified for that congressional seat? Ever? Ever? Since its creation? You're damn right it's time to have female representation in that district. You vote your interest. You see what they're doing. They're most likely going to do something that I never thought they would do. Which is to literally take away a fundamental right that we all agreed that we had. A right to privacy. And it looks like they're going to roll back the clock and demand that women do something with their bodies. And Henry Courtier, if he were on the Supreme Court, would vote yes. Let's not even get it twisted. He would support this. Look, Jessica Cisneros is absolutely right, women. Listen to me. If Henry Courtier were the deciding vote, say the Republicans narrowly lose the House this fall, and we have a 3-vote majority, maybe 2 at times. If we need to narrowly get through something like reparations, like universal basic income, like Medicare for all, like codifying Roe, like codifying voting rights, like ending qualified immunity, if we need to get something narrowly through, Henry Courtier is going to vote no. Jessica Cisneros is going to vote yes. It comes down to this. Look, this is a no-brainer for me. There's an old wing of the Democrat Party that still wants to play the good old boy game. So you see who's going down there supporting Henry Courtier. Enough said. Grown-ups can agree to disagree, and I strongly do. But this is a moment where you can decide for yourself what you think is best for you at this moment in time. And keep that in mind. You're looking at a recession. Latina women are the lowest paid women in America. Tied or maybe a little bit behind black women, depending on which metric you look at. Who in a recession that might turn into a depression are going to be vulturized if you don't have representation. The poorest in our society are always vulturized in bad times if they don't have representation. You can't get more representation than the person who's been representing you already as an immigrant attorney. She's already been doing immigration attorney work. Let her do that in Congress. Let her explain immigration and what's happening in the border towns. Henry Courtier is not going to explain shit because he would have done it already. It's been 18 years. It's Jessica's turn. Fuck what they're saying. It's Jessica's turn. You listen to me, TX-28. You vote for Jesessica Cisneros. You get out there and you mobilize. You get on the doors. You make phone calls. You drop pamphlets. You text 5 of your friends. If you're in the dorms in those colleges, put up some signs. Remind your friend. Make a plan to vote. If you're a small business out there and you're supporting Jessica, put the signs in your window. When customers walk in, have some stickers. Remind them it's on May 24th. And you vote for Jessica. And you watch. You're going to get the change that you really want. You're going to get some benefits. And you're going to get some fair treatment. If you don't have good representation, you get mistreated. It's sad, but it's a reality. Jessica Cisneros is top-notch good representation for everyone in that district, even if they don't agree with her. You're all going to benefit. Look at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as an example of what I mean by this. Do you think everyone in that New York district supports AOC? Hell no, it's New York. New Yorkers have a million opinions about a million different things. And none of them can agree to like anything. So they hate everything, including her. But how does she win? How does she galvanize people? Because she does community building. People might dislike AOC, the persona, the national AOC. But when it comes time to getting shit done in their district, she does a hell of a lot for every constituent in that district. It is New York. It's hard to please everybody. And you go to her district and you ask them, is she a good congresswoman? Fuck what the media says. You ask them, is she a good congresswoman? They say, hell yeah. She's the best congresswoman we've ever had. Anything we need, we get it. And if we can't get it, she'll tell us why. Oh yeah, I know. It's New York, the Big Apple. They got people everywhere, especially New York. I love New York. And now that the lunatic from Mar-a-Lago is banned, and I can swoop right in. Oh, baby. Fun times in Manhattan, I'm telling you. No. New York. No place like it on earth. Outside of Vegas. Vegas is nice too. See you in Vegas soon too. You gotta weigh what you're going to get and what you're going to lose. And on all accounts, you get youth, vigor, the future with Jessica Cisneros. You get same old, the past, failure with Henry Courtier. So it's about Jessica, the future, in that district. Texas 28. Jessica is 28. Hey, Texas, Jessica is 28. Let her represent in 28. Okay? It's about the future versus the past. Look, even if Henry Courtier was really good on the issues, which he's not, under my ideology, he can have his own. Under mine, he's not that great. If I'm a party loyalist, look, I'm being honest about this. If I'm a party loyalist, I'm like, if I'm in a house and I'm narrowly the Speaker of the House, say it's Nancy Pelosi, I'm narrowly the Speaker of the House by 3 votes. Would I rather have Henry Courtier, who might flip and vote with the Republicans against codifying Roe? Or would I rather have Jessica Cisneros, who I know is not going to flip, who's going to vote to codify Roe? One, because she has ovaries and a uterus. And 2, because she has a brain. You gotta weigh that too. If you're in tight votes coming out of 22, going into 24, when the lunatic is coming back with his coat, and you know how crazy they're going to be starting in 23, the rev up for it. Oh, it's going to be nuts outside because all his maniacs are coming back. We want to be able to fight with a record that we've done shit and to keep that shit the hell out the White House. Jessica is going to be able to do that. That district is progressive. Let's be honest. You need a makeover. And Jessica is the perfect person, Texas 28, to give you a grand spanking, brand new, awesome makeover. I'm doing whatever I can I'm chipping in, I'm contributing. I'm endorsing. I'm sharing. I love Jessica Cisneros. America will too. She's gonna work for you in TX-28. I'm gonna know about Jessica as much as I know about Alexandra. Why? There's very few Latina women in the United States House of Representatives. Wouldn't you know? So the more you can get, the better your representation will be. You gotta vote for Jessica Cisneros. This is the strongest endorsement I can give. Get out there and vote. Don't say you don't know. Don't say you forgot. Don't say any of that shit. Be happy. This is something new. And golly gee whiz, we definitely need a brand new Congress. Their approval rating is in the toilet and you're ready to send back the person that's got their approval rating in the toilet? I think the last public survey said that 15% of the American people approve of the Congress as a whole, not their individual representative. That varies. There's only 435 members of the House. Jessica is going to be a standout freshman member come 2023. But you got to make it happen, TX-28. Get out there and vote.